You're with Mr. Ahmad, now into details. Myanmar leader Aung San Suu Kyi today ruled out the allegation of ongoing genocide or genocidal intent at Rohingya village in Rakhine of Myanmar. She was speaking in Myanmar's defense at the UN Stop Court a day after the Gambia urged her to stop the ongoing genocide against Rohingyas. She asked how there is an ongoing genocide or genocidal intent as concrete steps are being taken in Rakhine. Rakhine today suffers an internal armed conflict between the Buddhist Arakan army and Myanmar Defense Forces. Muslims are not a part of this conflict, the Nobel laureate furthered. Earlier, defending her country, she said Myanmar country has own justice system for trial of any crime if committed in the Rakhine state. Suu Kyi also criticized the Gambia for taking the issue to the International Court of Justice.
Former Yugoslavia for the displacement of approximately 1 million residents of Kosovo in 1999. Neither was it applied by that tribunal nor by this court when deciding upon the exodus of the Serb population from Croatia in 1995. In both situations, international justice resisted the temptation to use this strongest of legal classifications because the requisite specific intent to physically destroy the targeted group.
However, legal experts think the arguments presented by the Gambia at top UN court are extremely strong and should convince the judges to issue provincial measures against the South Asian country to stop genocide against the Rohingyas. Talking to a program in DBC News, they said fair judgment will not depend upon the strength of Gambia or Rohingyas, rather the evidence.
Perpetrated by Myanmar's military and security forces.
Legal experts think if the International Court of Justice issues provisional measures, Myanmar will be under huge pressure. ICJ is not a criminal court that can issue an arrest order against any individual. But if it issues provisional measures to stop genocide, that means the judges have acknowledged the genocide.
I think
Myanmar must be proved guilty. There were huge evidence recorded by international media. I don't understand how they will defend the allegations.
Aung San Suu Kyi, who is leading a panel of Myanmar lawyers, could be in real trouble because the International Criminal Court (ICC), which deals with the crimes of individuals, will use the ICJ reference and may hold Suu Kyi responsible.
This is a civil court, not a criminal court like ICC. Hopefully, it will announce a judgment acknowledging the genocide.
However, Myanmar is ruled by army and Suu Kyi has nothing to do except obeying their orders. And army retained its popularity through launching crackdown against the Rakhine minors. Think another expert.
They don't
count Rohingyas as Myanmar's citizen. Basically, they don't have any civic right. Those were withdrawn. Myanmar's government consists of Suu Kyi and military. So, it is a big question about the role of military than Suu Kyi.
A 2017 military crackdown in Myanmar drove about 750,000 Rohingyas to flee to neighboring Bangladesh. United Nations said Myanmar's operation included mass killings, gang rapes, and widespread arson, and was executed with genocidal intent. Saifur Rahman Shishir, DBC News.
Meanwhile, the United States on Tuesday imposed sanctions on 4 Myanmar military leaders, including the commander-in-chief, in the toughest action taken yet by Washington for alleged human rights abuses against the Rohingya and other minorities. The sanctions targeted military chief Min Aung Hlaing on the same day that Myanmar's civilian leader Aung San Suu Kyi attended the first-day hearings at the UN's highest court in The Hague. There was a leading Myanmar's defense against the charge of genocide. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has urged all concerned to serve leprosy patients instead of negligency. The Prime Minister also encouraged awareness building while addressing the National Conference on Leprosy at a city hotel on Wednesday morning. She said the government has managed to reduce the number of leprosy patients by offering proper treatment and raising awareness. Talking to the issue, the Prime Minister called upon the owners of pharmaceutical companies to produce medicines for the disease locally, preferably with a view to distribute free of cost.
First of all, we need to build awareness campaign about leprosy disease. Leprosy affected person should be treated sympathetically and make arrangement for treatment of the disease. Special care need to be taken for the healing of the disease. The temperament of the deserting persons as such have to be given up.
Passing the controversial Citizenship Amendment Bill will be a diversion of historically non-communal India, said Bangladesh Foreign Minister A. K. Abdul Momen. He said this while talking to newsmen after a meeting with U.S. Ambassador Earl Miller at the ministry on Wednesday. This is a sorrowful matter for a Nobel laureate like Aung San Suu Kyi to speak at the International Court on behalf of Myanmar.
Historically, India is a tolerant country. I think the country will slip down from its historical position as a non-communal country if the bill is passed. Several times I have joined demonstration to free imprisoned Aung San Suu Kyi. She is the icon of democracy and human rights. I am disappointed by their moral degradation.
International Crimes Tribunal has awarded death sentence to Abdul Sattar alias Tipu Sultan of Boalia, Rajshahi for crimes against humanity. The three-member tribunal, led by Mohammad Shahinur Islam, passed the verdict today. Tipu was a member of Islami Chhatra Sangho, the then student wing of anti-liberation Jamaat Islami, and a member of the Rajakar Bahini during the war, according to the investigation agency. Earlier, Tipu was arrested in May 1972 under the Collaborators' Order in 1972, but was released in August 1974. According to them, the accused was involved in killing at least 10 and torturing 2 people. He was also involved in looting and arson attacks on 12 houses in areas under Boalia Police Station, Rajshahi. A Chinese national's body has been recovered from a garden in Bonani. The man's body was found buried in the garden of his apartment complex by the building's gardener on Wednesday. The deceased was identified as Gao Jianfei. According to the information received, the gardener saw new soil in one corner of the garden. Later, he dug out the area and saw the body while cleaning the place, then called the police. The deceased lived with his wife in the building, who is currently in China. The deceased was a stone importer and he was working as an engineer of Padma Bridge. Police suspects the man was murdered sometime during the night. Bangladesh has moved one place up in the UN Human Development Index HDI in 2018 to rank 135 out of 189 countries. Norway continued to top the HDI 2019 list, while Niger remained at the bottom. Placed among medium development countries in the 2019 Human Development Report, Bangladesh's HDI was 0.614 with 72.3 years of life expectancy at birth, 11.2 years of expected schoolings, and 4,057 PPP dollars GNI per capita. It has improved 5 notches since 2013. Bangladesh's HDI ranking, however, is still 5th among South Asian nations, behind Sri Lanka at 71, the Maldives at 104, India at 129, and Bhutan at 134. Nepal has been placed at 147, Pakistan 152, and Afghanistan at 170. HDI measures health by life expectancy at birth, knowledge by mean years of education, and standard of living by per capita gross national income. The 18th span of Padma Bridge has been installed. 150 meters long and 3,140 tons span was installed on 17 and 18 number pillars today. After the installation, some 2,700 meters of the bridge becomes visible. Earlier, the 150-meter 3E span is being carried near pillar number 17 and 18 at Zazira Point from Mawa Construction Yard 1 through the floated Tian E crane. On November 26, the 17 span of the bridge was installed, making 2.55 km of the bridge visible. The construction work of railway and road over the bridge is going on in full swing. Construction work of 33 pillars out of 42 has been completed, while construction work of the much-talked 7th pillar will end by this month. Meantime, workers of state-owned jute mills have been continuing hunger strike, pressing their 11-point demands, including implementation of wage commission. Along with the family members, the workers are observing the program at the frontiers of factories. Workers of Amin Jute Mill in Chattogram continued fasting unto death as called by CBA, non-CBA platforms on Wednesday. Pressing the same demands, workers of 7 government jute mills in Khulna, Rajshahi and Norsingdi also participated in the protest, leading deadlock at all factories. They declared to continue the fasting till the demands are met. That's all for now. For more news, visit dbcnews.tv. Thank you for being with us.